Hey, and welcome to Quintessential Comix. I'm your host, Alice Quinn.
And I'm your co-host, Matt Garcia.
Today we got a great episode lined up for you. Originally, we were going to have Ramon Perez in the studio talking about A Tale of Sand. He has a book launch coming out next week, but due to the news of Dragon Lady Comics unfortunately having to close their doors, we went in store and visited them and interviewed them about the shop. So all that details in minutes. What else we got? We got news, we got upcoming events, we got new releases, all that in seconds.
Hi guys, it's Matt with your news for this week. We've got stuff coming out of DC. Batman Earth 1, which is actually the prequel to Earth 2, the popular 90s television show. No, it's not. It's actually happening. The Earth 1 was announced over 2 years ago, and it was supposed to come out in 2011, but it never did. And now it will. And it's going to be written by Jeff Johns and illustrated by Gary Frank. It's about Batman as a boy in his formative years after his parents were dead, and he just before he comes back and starts kicking butt wholesale butt kicking. There's also more Batman news. They've announced that all three Batmans, the three comics of Batman that are out right now, are going to have crossovers. Each comic will have a backup feature explaining the origins of the Court of Owls, which sounds like a bunch of really freaky-looking animals getting together and doing evil things, which is exactly what happened. So read it, because that's interesting. No. Okay. That's not what it's about? No. Who wrote this crap? DC lost its sales lead this month to Marvel. DC is now at 37.5% of the market versus Marvel's 39%. Amazing. DC has 8 of 10 top comics. Not the top 8 of the top 10. They've just got 8 randomly in different places. Anyways, speaking of Marvel has announced tie-ins for Avengers vs. X-Men called AVX versus, I hate that name. I hate saying it. I hate everything about this. They're just individual fights from the comic being taken into, expanded on to make sense that it wasn't in the comics because there's not enough time to fit all this stupid crap that they need to expand. I don't know. Whatever. Teasers are showing that the first issue is going to be Iceman versus Spider-Man, which could be cool. And the second one will be Thor versus Storm. Spider-Man and Thor versus Storm. So both, I think. I'm getting okay. Thanks, news checker person. I'm so glad we bought that thing.
Fact checker?
Yeah, it's just scrolling past. There's also a tie-in with Secret Avengers. Warren Ellis is no longer writing, and Rick Remender is taking over. So he's going to incorporate Venom into the Secret Avengers. I'm still disappointed that Venom is not in a wheelchair. And lastly, artist and writer Walt Simonson is going to join the Avengers for art. Just art. There was possibly going to be co-writing something. No, he's just going to do art. Chilling. It's cool. And finally, from Dynamite Comics, exciting, explosive news from Dynamite Comics. That's terrible. Releasing the ongoing comic in March of the Bionic Woman, which everyone is a fan of. Everyone. And that's it for your news this week. Thanks.
Hey, it's Alice here with your upcoming events. You may have noticed a continuity error. I'm wearing glasses. Deal with it. I forgot my contacts. Sorry, dudes. So upcoming events in Toronto. On Monday, we have Geek Love is presenting another screening, this time celebrating their love for freaks and geeks. So that's happening on Monday, January 16th from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. at the Ossington, which is at 61 Ossington Street, just north of Queen. Should be cool. See you there. On Wednesday, Ramon Perez's Tale of Sand is having its book launch at the Toronto Cartoonist Workshop at 587 College Street, which is at which is at College and Grace Street. Having a little word salad today. Pardon me. Grace, Clinton. I think it's in between Grace and Clinton. On College. It's good stuff. It's right beside Dragon Lady. There you go. You can hit them both up in the same night. So, that's from 7 to 11 p.m. on January 18th. Next up, we got Nerd Night X. I don't know what the X stands for, but Nerd Night Toronto is having another presentation event. Their event consist of people going up and doing like PowerPoint presentations on nerdy stuff. This month they're doing microchips and bars. So should be cool. Check it out. That is on January the 18th. No, scratch that. January the 19th. It's Thursday from 8 to 11 at the Transac, which is 292 Brunswick Avenue, which is just a Brunswick and Bloor. Here you are. So those are your events for this week in Toronto. Hope to see you there.
Hey guys, it's Matt again with your weekly releases. Starting off with Dark Horse, we have Star Wars Legacy Volume 11 War. And from DC, we have The Flash, The Dastardly Death of the Rogues Volume 1, Unwritten Volume 5 Onto Genesis, and Young Justice Volume 1. From IDW, we have Transformers Classics Volume 2. What? From Image, we have Intrepids Volume 1 and Invincible Volume 15. Get Smart. From John Wiley & Sons, we have Zen of Steve Jobs, which, you know, a Zen Buddhist friend makes him so much cooler. Read about it in graphic novel form, if you're interested. Marvel has Avengers Volume 2. Is that some Red Hulk, I see. Red Hulk. Yeah. And Mystic 10th Apprentice, where two girls' lives are turned upside down by magic. The license plate said fresh, and it had a dice in mirror. We have, a lot of collections out of Marvel, which I'm not going to say because they're just collections of old stuff. And, at a Scholastic Book Club, we got Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace 3D Storybook. It's only about, 10 years late for the movie? Stupid. Anyways, that's your release list for this week. Have fun.
Hey, so we got that interview with Dragon Lady Comics coming up, but I thought before that interview, just to give you a little introduction about what Dragon Lady does specifically, I'd show you what I'd got when I went there. So if you'd take the mic, buddy. Yeah. Issues or books first?
Issues.
All right. So I got this awesome crime suspense stories. It's an EC comic from like the 50s, 60s, so it's like a little piece of history. Really excited about that. I don't know if the light is shining on the plastic bag, so I'm just gonna tilt it a little. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. I also got a couple issues of Swamp Thing. I was looking for a specific issue. I think it's either 27 or 47, where it's like the first comic that is published without the Comics Code seal of approval. And that comic, they threw in like necromancy and drugs and sex, and it was just all sorts of weird stuff. And I was just like, I want that issue. But they didn't have it. It happens. So I got some other ones, which are pretty cool.
So it's like Vertigo, but back in the day. Thanks, Comics Code.
Yeah, thanks, Comics Code. I also got Paul Pope's 100%. I've been a fan of it for a really long time, but going at a business sale. I have word salad today. Business at a going sale. They got good prices and everything, so I stocked up. Yeah.
Oh.
I also got this really sweet Tank Girl Year 1 type thing. It's got like commentary and stuff at the beginning, so I'm really happy about it.
Can I have it?
You can borrow it. And almost last but not least, I got this Betty Page book that's got like a really in-depth interview with her. I'd open it and show it to you, but there's like nudity and stuff. I don't know how safe that is. There's kids around, but pretty cool. Yeah. And
you don't want to see a butt. That's
no butts on this show.
We're Comics Code approved.
Another feature of Dragon Lady Comics is that they sell they carry paper nostalgia, so like old magazines and old excerpts and all this stuff. It's just really cool. They got like old Playboy calendars from like the 60s. It's really interesting. Not my type of stuff, but I picked this up. It's like a pulp novel from 1967. That's what it says inside. So yeah, I got a bunch of really cool stuff at Dragon Lady, and it wasn't like, your typical comic shop because, again, of the paper nostalgia stuff. So it really is a really cool place, and they got like a sweet deal on this package of stuff here. So check it out. Obviously, obviously their prices are going to drop within like the last week of January. But when I was talking to Joe, he told me that they are moving stuff and packing stuff away as they go throughout the month. So if there's something specific you want, I'd go now. Now's the time to go.
It's like word porn. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally. So we're just gonna shoot right into that interview. Hope you enjoy.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm in Dragon Lady Comics. This is Saturday, like the 6th of January.
I think, yeah.
And you've only got maybe...
We've got, doing the math, we've got like 25 days left before the store's done.
So this is a historical video now. This is capturing
An archive, yes.
capturing a piece of history that won't be here for very much longer.
Sure.
So why is Dragon Lady Comics the place you can find all sorts of amazing old comics and
insane the stuff we have in here. We've been
so many like
moving stuff out, and we're finding even more stuff as we move stuff out. It's nuts. It's 12 years of stockpiling at this location, then another 18 before that, so it's just been crazy. But yeah, there's tons of stuff here. Tons of stuff.
Just tons of old magazines too. I didn't realize how,
The nostalgia part of it's huge. The nostalgia part is a large part of our stock, and back issue comics is just nuts too. It's just crazy.
So you guys opened up in 1979 or 1978?
79, although the owner had set up a mail order catalog service in 78. So if anybody has any old Marvel comics from 1978 in the summertime, take a look in the classified pages, those sections in the middle where they sell you like little fish and monkeys smoking shit and stuff like that, and you'll find like a tag saying Dragon Lady Comics, Queen Street, or a P.O. box, and basically inviting people to send in for the catalog, and that was back in 78.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So there's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to know about the culture of our generation and generations before us, like it's just all around us right now. It's
popular
crazy.
Culture in general. I mean, since we started stockpiling the nostalgia, it's even more so like that, because the comics are a huge part of what we do. Like, I mean, the comics are the primary part of what we do. It's certainly the biggest part of sales for us, but everything else in here is just nuts as well too. Just the amount of stuff that we have. Again, I cannot emphasize how much stuff we have. Again, because it blows my mind now that I'm actually seeing all of it moving around.
Yeah. So, how did you guys get into the nostalgia stuff? Because you said before you guys started off as comics, and that is still your primary source of income and sales. But how did you get all this nostalgia stuff going? Why don't you pan? Let's see the room.
Well, basically, you when you buy collections and you buy comics from people in bulk, you tend to get asked, "Do you want anything else that we have?" And the owner very shrewdly said, "Okay, I'll take a look at what you have." And he also drew a connection between kind of classic old magazine illustrators, people like Noel Sickles, people like J.C. Leyendecker, who kind of established graphic art, non-narrative graphic art that would be attached to fiction that you'd find in older magazines.
I've been, we've all been reading this stuff online about the reasons for you guys having to close up. What I want to know is what specific reasons you guys have for not reopening somewhere else. Are you guys just, tired? It's 30 years, it's been a good run.
That's part of it. The owner's in his 70s. It's incredibly expensive to run any kind of business out of a storefront in Toronto. The number that I used, and I'm feeling a little self-conscious about having used it in the news, is like $5,200, which is our monthly rent here. You have to turn around a lot of stuff to cover that on top of expenses and everything else. And I am, again, continually baffled by the places that can do it well and that can do it. I mean, you diversify, you get a lot more of the stock in, sure, but if you're a niche business, it's hard to maintain that. And so, and many other niche businesses before us in the past 10 years, we're going online. And we're going to be doing online sales, probably through eBay, probably through a minor storefront online. And the owner's going to be doing that. I wanted to be doing something else, so this is as good a time to make a break as any other. So that's basically it.
So will people be able to pick up like some of these like magazines and some of this old stuff through online sales? Will there be?
I hope so. I hope so, and we're going to be posting stuff up. Or as far as I understand, his plan is to post stuff up on a very regular basis online. So that should take care of some of it.
Cool. Do you guys have a website right now we can currently look at to keep up with news?
We do not actively have a website right now, unfortunately. That's something that's kind of been left by the wayside while we're trying to get everything else organized. So I'll let people know through Facebook and through other sources. I'm sure he's going to let other people know through the news and stuff like that.
And if you guys let T.Comics know, then we'll let you guys know.
That would be a good way of doing that, and I would be happy to make sure that happens too.
Awesome. All right, so I don't know. I kind of want to take a little more time walking around the store and just picking up stuff. Why don't you show me some of your favorite stuff?
Sure, be happy to.
Yeah.
When I don't have a lot of stuff that's in piles because people have been browsing all day, this stuff is pretty well set out. Classic old Hollywood magazines.
Beautiful.
Classic old...
Here, hold it.
Sure, no problem. Vintage Playboys. Fashion magazines from the 70s. You know those pattern books that people used to pick up?
Oh, really?
Tons of them. We got tons of these ready to go. And those are going for about 30% less than they normally would have around here. Beautiful wall of 1970s DC and Marvel Treasury format books. Behind me, more of the movie magazines. Tons of vintage paperback books over here. For people who want to stock up a lot, even naughty stuff, fun naughty stuff.
Ooh. May I?
Yes, you may.
I heard that you guys were once doing like reprintings of old comics and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We did newspaper strip reprints in the late 70s. The owner went into publishing, early 80s. And basically, vintage newspaper strips like Dick Tracy,
Nice.
Brenda Starr,
Winnie the Breadwinner. That was my favorite.
Winnie the Breadwinner. That stuff's hysterical. I love that stuff. Minute
It's
movies
funny because she wears pants. Oh,
in the 30s.
that was the humor.
That shit writes itself. Okay. But yeah, basically stuff like that. Terry and the Pirates, of course. The store's named after a character from Terry and the Pirates, so.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right, let's continue on our tour.
Okay, no sweat. For people who don't have a big budget, 50-cent comics, packed to the ravelers.
Bam, right there.
And then we're getting into the comics in the store. Bin after bin, back issue comics. Graphic novels behind me. New stuff on the rack in the back. Why don't you take that? Okay.
So, are we gonna see? Are people gonna be able to get really good deals on this like really cool wall stuff that's
basically
classic?
What we're doing is anything that is priced at more than $10, they're getting 30% off of. Anything that's priced under $10, they're getting half price at.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. Oh damn! I see an issue of the Spirit up there.
Yeah, that's an original Spirit newspaper section from the 40s.
Oh man.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just, again, just standing and pointing at it. There's so much stuff. It's just
Ooh, we got some nice art books back here. Maybe we'll come around this corner.
This
Hey,
is
look.
kind of where we have, excuse us.
Pardon us.
This is kind of where we have all the old newspaper strip related stuff.
Look, Terry and the Pirates.
Yep.
Here we are.
Very cool.
So what are, now that things are going on sale, I guess for you it doesn't really matter. You get your employee discount. But what are things that you've always been like, you know what, one day I'll get it. One day I'll pick it up. It's up there on the shelf and you're just like looking at it. What are you going to get now?
Pieces like that. There are a few pieces like that. For me, actually, it's a lot of the paperback material. Maybe we had some newspaper comic sections from the 30s and 40s and basically like an old, say, newspaper page. I'm not going to be bringing that much more home with me, but there is a lot of stuff here that I'm kind of giving second consideration now that It's not stuff I'm going to be seeing every day anymore.
Yeah.
So that's going to have some effect. So there you go.
Well, there you have it, guys. Dragon Lady. She's been faithful and awesome to us all these years, providing us with our nostalgic loves. You can check it out for the next 26 days.
Yep.
Come on in, load up, because this gem is going to be around for much longer, unfortunately. Thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Alice.
I forgot to introduce you at the beginning because we just sort of jumped into it, so we'll put the title on the screen.
And the name's flashing prominently for us and stuff. So.
But yeah, this is Joe. Pretty cool guy. Thank you.
You're very
Thanks so
welcome.
much, man.
My pleasure.
Take care.
Anytime.
So thanks for joining us on Quintessential Comix. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we had fun filming it. Thank you to Dragon Lady Comics for having us and Joe speaking with us. Thanks to Sean Ward for this epic, awesome background we got behind us. Thanks to Dave and Harrison in the studio for filming and photographing this episode. Thanks to Lemon, the dog, for distracting us all during it. And thanks to you, the viewer, for watching and tuning in. We'll see you next week. Ramon Perez in the studio, Friday, lunchtime. Be there or be square. Hey, I'm Alice Quinn, and you might be thinking, what are you doing back here? You just said goodbye. But I'm here to tell you all about the ways you can support T.Comix and me, Alice Quinn, and Quintessential Comix. If you like this video, you can go to YouTube where you found this video, or click on the YouTube button on the embedded page on T.Comix or wherever you found this video. Click on that, press like on YouTube. Simple. Let me know you like it. Or if you have specific feedback, please do comment. You can also find this on T.Comix under, if you search up Quintessential Comix, it'll come up with a list of all the episodes, and we're still going to have a dedicated page for that website. You can like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/T.Comix. You can follow us on Twitter. Twitter.com/T.Comix, and those are all my personal tweets as well. So enjoy. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching Quintessential Comix.